Okay.
I hit the button and it's thinking we may be live, we may not be. I don't know. So let's just wait. I don't know where we are. It's just vanished.
Oh, we're live.
Okay, excellent. I can't see it. So,
No, I just had a look on the phone.
Okay, so welcome everybody to the quick energy update here at the Vortex Healing Center here in beautiful Tasmania. Welcome.
Hi there. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful day. I hope you have a beautiful day like we have here today.
So why don't you tell us a little bit, Sue, about what's been happening lately? You know, even from a few months ago, there were some massive energies that came through with the, do you want to just go backwards a little bit, go backwards a couple months and bring everybody up to the present?
Well, it's been mainly consistent upgrading on our physical bodies at the moment, and we're getting adapted is only one way I can put it, that you can feel the differences in your body and then you burn it off and then you throw it out. And we've been a lot more sensitive as the solar flares come through too. So, but that's really quite normal for a lot of light workers. But that's not the actual shift that's happening.
But the big question really started a few months ago when you were able to capture a lot of those pictures down at the Vortex of the different rays coming in. Do you want to just recap everybody about that?
Yeah,
I think that was the start of a massive shift.
We've gone through the downloading of the magenta rays, and there's sort of been stages of them, and each download is slightly different, but it's working on the same thing, if that makes sense. And the magenta is the color of the Christ. You always see the Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene in blue, which is the royal blue for the female. And I always see Christ as the magenta color. So it's again to do with the marriage of the divine feminine and male. This is taking place in all of us. It's combining our female side with our male side. So we're heading towards androgyny.
That's one way of expressing it. Some people would just say it's coming into complete fullness in our power, both in divine masculine and divine feminine.
Yes, which neutralizes one side or the other. So we're in total balance.
So that we're both versus being neither, if you will.
Or one.
I think that's a big question for today.
We have got a huge influx of energy coming up very, very shortly with the eclipse season, and we've only got 3 eclipses this year, not the 4 that we normally get. So it's going to be bringing a lot of stuff for us to look at, for us to think about what we want to create in our life, and heading towards that kind of scenario, because at the moment we don't know ourselves well enough to know what we want in our life, because we're not who we were, we're not who we're going to be, and we're just sort of in limbo at the moment. And so we're getting a little bit closer with this new eclipse season.
I would argue that it is possible to know what you want in your highest self, and to bring that highest self and that future vision of you in your highest self to the present. That's a lot of the work that Joe Dispenza has been doing with his meditations, and a lot of the quantum energetics and other quantum modalities look at is how do you expand beyond what this 3D world is to have access to what goes well beyond time and space dimensions.
Yes, that's all possible. And I was just talking generally, not all people do that. People on the pathway and are keen to do that are really tuning in and getting to know their higher selves and then their new self, if you like. But there's a lot of people that don't know there is a new self or a higher self, and I was generally speaking like that. But many are working towards what they are going to become. So you mentioned a few good names there with Joe Dispenza and a few of those. It's Greg Braden, Bruce Lipton. They're doing some fabulous work towards helping us to find out what we're going to become and helping us to help ourselves to become it.
Yeah, and I would add the name David Adelson in there, who we've been able to interview a few times here on the podcast here at the Vortex Energy Center, and doing a lot of work with that entire quantum space and creating peace and harmony all around you. But tell us a little bit more about what the eclipses that are coming up. When are they due, and what impact do you see that having for people?
Just throw me under the bus, thank you. The first one's on the 5th. I think the second's on the 12th, and then there's another later on in the month. I'm not sure which, but I know the first one is the 5th, and you'll feel it coming.
Yeah. And what are some of the things that people can do to help prep for that, help plan for that? I mean, I know we're selling Mary essences like crazy, so I don't know why in particular that essence of the dozen different essences we have. That one, I just got another text a minute ago. So thank you all for supporting us and allowing us to come into your life and to share the energies from this incredibly special place here in Tasmania to the whole world. But tell us a little bit about why you think that Mary essence in particular right now is calling so many people.
The Mary essence softens, so it takes the edge off all the tenseness and the irrational thoughts that come through when you're going through a change or a shift. But to me, the essence that should be being used at the moment is the Trinity, because with the Trinity of the eclipses, we're also developing the Trinity of ourself, which is the male, female, and higher self, all in one. And that's what our Trinity essence helps us do. It helps us come into our own Trinity. So yes, I've been taking it.
Which one, the Trinity or the Mary?
Trinity.
Okay. I can see why people really like the Mary, because it is that incredible warmth and softness. And I think a lot of people, even though they're cocooning at home, may not be able to do all the things they'd like to do. It still feels as just a giant, wonderful, warm hug that we're also not allowed to do with all the people we see in the street and people we're used to giving a big hug to. So I can see why the Mary as well has been a huge, huge calling for people.
Yeah. Mary's always helps you feel the love, and it goes straight to your heart. You can always feel it happening.
Yeah.
And you look at people very differently when you're under the influence of our Mary essence.
Influence. That's a good way of phrasing it. Under the influence of our Mary essence. Wouldn't it be nice if everyone embodied that warmth of the Mother Mary, and which also obviously encapsulates a lot of the energy of the Christ consciousness, as preceded the Christ consciousness energy. It's almost like taking a precursor to some of the vitamins. You get the Mary is the precursor to the Christ consciousness energy.
People always think, well, why isn't there a nice pill for the heart that makes you feel warm and fuzzy? Well, there's an essence. So, and the story behind the essences were that I was guided to do a combination of wildflower essence, which works incredibly well. The Australian bushflower remedies are very, very good remedies. But I was guided to use crystals with it. And with the Mary essence, we actually got some Mary water while we were in France from a creek that Mary had blessed. And I brought that home and made it on the Vortex with the white waratah, which is the immaculate healer, the waratah,
pretty rare, yeah.
the greatest wildflower remedy, the red one. But we used the white one for the Mary for the purity, and I used the zestulite and what was the other one? Oralite. So it's a powerful, powerful remedy. And Barbara's frozen for a minute, so she'll join us. There may have been, is this live offline? Oh, all right, yes, there's the 3 crystals with it. Anyway, they're very powerful, so do yourself a favour and try the Mary. Or if you want to try the Trinity, that's far more powerful. That's Auralite, Azestolite, and the Herkimer Diamond. And that will bring you undone whatever junk you've got left caught up amongst all your tissues and stuff. It'll bring it up to the surface to be cleared. So it looks like Barbara's gone, and we were only going to do a 5-minute live, so I think that will do today. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Bye for now.